Leah O'Hara.
O'Hara. It looks like they missed a file when they saw you this morning.
So what's going on?
No, they, for some reason, didn't get the charges from yesterday.
They dismissed the felonies.
Well, but what I have here is a misdemeanor criminal trespass and possession of paraphernalia. Alleged occurred yesterday evening. So again, City Public Defender's Office will be appointed to represent you on this. Just run with the other files, the other misdemeanor files that you were seeing on this morning. You're not to go to any Circle K store, and very specifically not to the one at Stone and Fort Lowell. All right. Thank you. Good evening. I'm Judge Fayette, and you are?
Francisco Carbajal.
Mr. Carbajal. I have an imminent complaint here charging you with stalking alleged to have occurred on or about the 12th of May. We'll appoint Mark Evans to represent you on these charges. And did either counsel wish to be heard on conditions of release?
Your Honor, the state would just note, I believe this predates what he's already indicted on.
It does.
It's very concerning that he's already, pending subsequent, similar conduct. So that's why the state requested the bond that it did in the amount of $25,000.
Your Honor, I would just emphasize that obviously a failure to appear is very unlikely as he's currently in custody. I would note that his other bonds are $50,000 and $25,000. So for those reasons, given that he's currently unemployed, I would just ask for low bond clearly, because whatever he's being held on now is keeping him. So I would just ask for a lower bond, the state's recommendation.
Preliminary hearing date will be August 22nd at 1:30. No alcohol or illegal drugs, no contact with the alleged victims. You're not to return to the incident location. And bond is $15,000. And I'd suggest you not discuss this matter with anyone except your attorney. Thank you, Mr. Carbajal.
Your Honor, jail here, Hughes on, is still unavailable.
Correct. I've already
Okay.
done the paperwork on that.
Okay.
Thank you. Mr. Hannes, just so I can make a note, can you tell me which defendant you're appearing for?
Yes, Judge. I'm appearing on a misdemeanor Tucson City court case for Christina Haro Jacinto.
Okay. All right. Yeah, my clerk just said he put your notice of appearance in the file, so thank you.
Thank you.
It's in the file, so.
Bravo.
I'm around all the way here. No, I was there. Dog. Jesus.
Good evening, I'm Judge Shayette, and you are,
John Bravo.
Mr. Bravo. I have citation here charging you with domestic violence alleged occurred earlier this afternoon.
Yes, ma'am.
Your next court date is going to be August 22nd at 10:30 in the morning in the Pima County Justice Court. Do you understand you need to be present at that time?
Yes, ma'am.
Conditions of release, in addition to standard conditions that are which include remaining in the state of Arizona, not violating laws, and appearing at all your court dates. You're not to have any contact with Anthony Guarino. You're not to go within 3 blocks of his residence or workplace. Do you understand that?
I think of a question. We have a hearing for probate next Wednesday, and he's going to be there.
That's fine. That's in a courthouse.
Okay.
You just do not engage with him.
Okay.
You may be present. Now, how is the decedent related to you or to Mr. Guarino?
It's my mother, and he's my brother-in-law.
Okay. All right, I'll specifically note that you may be present at court proceedings where the victim is present, but you're not to interact with the victim. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Bravo.
Thank you.
Good evening, I'm Judge Shade, and you are,
Michael Regis Carmelo, third, Your Honor. Good evening.
Mr. Carmelo. I have a warrant here, charges from January 25th of 2022 for domestic violence disorderly conduct. Warrant was issued on April 16th. of this year. Apparently, because you were supposed to be in court. Charges from September 4th of 2024 for shoplifting. Warrant issued January 9th of this year. Do we have? There we go. We'll appoint Steve McClure to represent you on these charges. Hold you on a $500 bond because of your failure to appear history. Your next court date will be next Tuesday morning at 9 o'clock in the morning. No acts of domestic violence. You'd abide by previous conditions of release and not return to the incident locations. And I'd suggest you not discuss this matter with anyone except your attorney. All right. Thank you, Mr. Carmelo.
Thank you.
Good evening. I'm Judge Fayette, and you are.
Hello, Cassandra Gomenero.
Your next court date on this matter is going to be August 22nd at 10:30 in the morning, Pima County Justice Court. You'll be released on your signature and promise to appear and conditions: no alcohol, illegal drugs, no acts of domestic violence, no contact with Mr. Colmenero. You don't return to the incident location or to his residence. Do you understand that?
Yes.
You can go, if you have personal belongings at his residence, you can return with law enforcement to get those personal belongings. Right? Thank you, Ms. Hahn.
About that door, how we like me to see it.
Good evening, I'm Judge Shade, and you are
Sarah Bullhouse.
Ms. Bullhouse. I have charges here that go back to October of 2019. Domestic violence assault and domestic violence disorderly conduct. It looks like you were released at that time, given a court date, and you showed up in November of 2019. You did not, it looks like you did not appear in December of 2019. You were then in custody again a few days later, given a court date of January. You appeared in January. Given a court date of March, that was continued at your request until April. Continued again and again because you were raising funds for diversion, and then you didn't appear in July of 2020, according to my records. You were then seen by pretrial services in November of 2021, given a court date of December the 16th, and did not appear. You were then in custody on June 3rd of this year, held on a bond. You were released at a review hearing on June 13th and didn't appear on July 17th. I also have charges for criminal trespass on December 31st of 2024 and similar court dates within that time frame. I'll reappoint the City Public Defender's Office to represent you on these charges. Bond will be $250. You post the bond, no acts of domestic violence. You need to comply with previous conditions of release, which included no contact, no return, things of that nature. If you post the bond, your court date September the 12th at 9:30. If you haven't posted the bond, you'll be seen on August the 22nd at about 1:45. Right. Thank you, Ms. Bowles.
Thank you.
Good evening, I should say it, and you are.
Francisco de Jesús Gutiérrez López.
I have citations charging you with domestic violence assault, domestic violence criminal damage, domestic violence disorderly conduct alleged to have occurred earlier today. Will appoint City Public Defender's Office to represent you on these charges. Your next court date on these matters is going to be August the 20th at 1:30. Bond is $2,499. You have no contact with Evangeline. You're not to go within 3 blocks of her residence. You're not to consume any alcohol or illegal drugs. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Lopez.
You said bond is how much?
$2,499.
2,000?
Yes. Good evening, I'm Judge Fayette, and you are?
Christina Haro Jacinto.
Your Honor, this is the one I'm appearing on, Alec Hannisford.
And you're appearing on both cases, correct?
I am the attorney for one previous. She was booked today on just a second one, correct? Or were there two cases that she was booked in on today?
No, let me take a look at my file.
Okay. Yes, I do represent her on an earlier one, and this one,
I don't see a notice of appearance in the earlier case.
that one was sent over. I was retained over the weekend.
Yeah,
So
it
maybe,
hasn't gotten caught up yet.
no, I understand. But yes, I am on both. Those are the two, yes.
Yes.
I also provided a motion, Your Honor, regarding conditions of release.
Saw that. Right, next court date is September the 2nd at 1:30 in the afternoon. You have no contact with Anthony except through legal counsel or court proceedings. You're not to go to his residence or workplace. Do you understand that?
Yes.
I suggest you don't discuss this matter with anyone except your attorney. Thank you, Mrs. Hinton.
Thank you, Your Honor. May I be excused?
You may. Thank you. Hmm? Good evening. I'm Judge Shade, and you, sir, are?
I'm the Leon Hill.
Mr. Hill, citation charging you with domestic violence assault, domestic violence disorderly conduct, alleged to have occurred earlier today. And Ms. Hill, you wanted to be heard on conditions of release, not talking about facts of the case, but just on conditions of release.
Yes, Your Honor.
So go right ahead and tell me.
I just would like for him to be evaluated by the Crisis Response Center before he's released from, or upon release. I'd like him to be evaluated by the Crisis Response Center, and I filed a petition. It should be there with you in the file today. That was approved.
So you filed a Title 36 petition?
I did, and I delivered it to the jail, and I spoke with the mental health counselor, Matt, this afternoon. Was going to scan it into the system so that it was there for you
In
for the
jail,
hearing.
you have it so that he will be transferred to CRC?
Are you speaking to?
I don't show a Title 36, Your Honor, in my file, but the mental health department may have the copy and not have given it to jail records.
All right, Mr. Hill, your next court date is going to be September the 16th at 1:30 in the afternoon in the Tucson City Court. You're going to be released for transport to the CRC. You need to comply with behavioral health assessment and treatment. You're not to go back to Cherry Hills residence except with law enforcement to get your personal belongings. Right? Thank you, Mr. Hill.
That's
Safe.
Good evening. I'm Judge Shade, and you are
Faith Schifrin.
Ms. Jeffrey. I have quite a number of matters here for you. I have charges that go back to June 29th of 2021 for disorderly conduct, along with failing to appear in court. I have charges for 2 counts of assault, 1 count of criminal trespass, December 19th of 2021, along with failures to appear.
Yeah, somebody did
For possession of paraphernalia and criminal trespass February 25th of last year, along with failures to appear. Charges for possession of paraphernalia on May 16th of last year, failing to appear in court. Criminal trespass on July 15th of last year, failing to appear in court. Charges for criminal trespass on September 2nd of last year, failure to appear in court. Criminal trespass on October 17th of last year, failing to appear in court. Charges for possession of paraphernalia on April 23rd of this year, failure to appear in court. Possession of paraphernalia on May 4th of this year, failure to appear in court. And charges today for possession of paraphernalia. We'll appoint the City Public Defender's Office to represent you on these charges. Bond is $500. Post the bond, your court date will be September the 11th at 9:30 in the morning. If you've not posted the bond, you'll be seen on video in the afternoon of August 22nd, sometime 1:45 or later. No alcohol or illegal drugs. You're not to have contact with any victims. You're not to return to the incident locations, which include 3255 South Wilmot, 2856 South Beck, 3471 South Fairbanks, 63 20 East Golf Link, 54 East Little. And I'd suggest that you not discuss this matter with anyone except your attorney. Thank you, Ms. Jeffrey.
Yes.
Judge Pitt and you, sir, are
Mr. Johnson.
Mr. Johnson. Citation charging you with domestic violence assault, domestic violence disorderly conduct. Alleged occurred this afternoon. Your next court date is going to be September the 16th at 1:30 in the afternoon in Tucson City Court. Do you understand you need to be present at that time?
Yes, ma'am.
Meantime, no acts of domestic violence, no contact with Annabella. You don't go to her residence or to the incident location. You can return to the residence once with law enforcement to get your personal belongings. You also need to begin the process of obtaining a behavioral health assessment and complying with that assessment and any recommended treatment. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson.
Your Honor,
Yes.
Jail would like to have Mr. Martinez maybe later this session,
Okay.
if it's possible. So I'm gonna move to the next one, Peraza.
All right.
Thank you.
Denise said this is the one that needs your assistance.
Hi, good evening, Judge. Thank you.
And then, Peraza.
Good evening. I'm Judge Shade, and you, sir, are.
Buenas noches. Soy la juez Chayet. ¿Cuál es su nombre, señor?
Noé Peraza Badía.
Noé Peraza Valdía.
I have a warrant here out of Pima County Justice Court.
Tiene una orden de aprehensión del Tribunal de la Paz del Condado Pima.
No. Charging you with second degree escape, alleged to have occurred 21 years ago.
Acusándolo de un escape hace 21 años.
We'll appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you on these charges, and did either case to be heard on conditions.
Le vamos a nombrar un abogado de oficio para que lo represente en estos casos, en este cargo, y si algo tienen que decir los abogados.
Your Honor, he resides in Mexico. That's probably why the warrant's been out for so long. and the charge involves escape from a correctional facility per the at least charge description. So the state believes the warrant amount, given the circumstances, would be fair and appropriate.
Su señoría, dado que hace muchísimo tiempo había esta orden de aprehensión por escaparse de una localización de correcciones, pensamos que la orden es apropiada, la orden que se efectuó sea apropiada.
Honor, I'm going to attempt to speak with Mr. Peraza with my limited Spanish if I have a moment.
You may.
Su señoría, voy a tratar de hablar con el señor Peraza con mi español limitado.
Your Honor, per the pretrial services report, he appears to be a U.S. citizen.
Su señoría, dado al informe precondenatorio, parece ser que es ciudadano americano.
And sorry, I know he said yes. I also want to point out that he turned himself in.
También quiero subrayar el hecho que él se entregó.
I asked him about the address that he provided to pretrial services, which is here in Tucson.
También le pregunté sobre el domicilio que le dio a los servicios precondenatorios que está aquí en Tucson.
He confirmed that the address belongs to his sister.
Él ha confirmado que ese domicilio le pertenece a su hermana.
He also has her phone number here. It is a Tucson, Pima County phone number.
También tiene un número de teléfono aquí, es un teléfono del condado Pima de Tucson.
I can also provide the court with her address, although I believe the court has the information.
Y también le puedo informar al tribunal su domicilio, aunque creo que el tribunal ya tiene el domicilio.
I would like to note that, as the court mentioned, this is 21 years old, and the state could have pushed for extradition.
I'm sorry, counsel, did you say that the state could push?
The state could have pushed for
Okay.
extradition.
Okay. Este caso tiene, como mencionamos anteriormente, 21 años de antigüedad y el Estado pudo ver empujado más a una extradición.
I would say that he is not a flight risk, as he could have stayed in Mexico.
Y puedo decir que no es un riesgo a que se dé la fuga porque se pudo haber quedado en México.
He was not previously arrested on these charges.
Previamente no fue arrestado por estos cargos.
He has no holds.
No tiene ninguna detención.
And so I am asking for his release.
Así que estoy pidiendo por su liberación.
I would also just note there is the possibility that he could have been here for extended periods of time, and this might be barred by statute.
Y también quiero mencionar que tal vez estuvo aquí presente por periodos largos de tiempo y eso impediría por medio de la ley.
And I only suggest that because he does have family here with a verified address.
Y sugiero eso solamente porque sí tiene familia aquí con un domicilio verificado.
So for all of those reasons, Your Honor, I do think that it is appropriate to release him to pretrial services. He obviously seems willing to participate in this process.
Y por esas razones, su señoría pediría que fuera liberado a los servicios precondenatorios y está dispuesto a participar.
Your Honor, I need to clarify this. The statement about pushing extradition doesn't make legal sense. This is a JP court warrant that had to issue.
Su señoría, eso legalmente, el hecho de que el Estado hubiera empujado la extradición, este es un caso del Tribunal de la Paz, ¿no sería un problema?
When whereabouts are unknown and the allegations involve escaping a correctional facility, and he notes in the pretrial services report he's been living in Mexico for 35 years, or the number of years he had stated.
Y en el informe precondenatorio dice ahí que ha vivido en México por 35 años. El hecho también es que él se escapó de una ubicación de detención.
Your Honor, just to briefly address what the state has shared, yes, he did say that he's lived there for 35 years, but I think the state caught themselves. That wouldn't make any sense given the allegations here and the number of years that have passed from the event, the alleged event itself. So there is a possibility that he has been back and forth.
Sí, el Estado alega de que este tiempo pasó, pero existe la posibilidad de que durante ese tiempo el señor fue y vino.
A lot of this is pure speculation at this point.
En este momento casi todo esto es pura especulación.
Preliminary hearing date's August 22nd at 1:30. Bond is
La-
$2,500. If the bond is
La-
posted, go ahead.
La audiencia está programada para el 27 de agosto a la 1:30 bajo una fianza de $2,500. Si se deposita la fianza,
Bond is posted, you'll be released to the third-party custody of pretrial services.
si se deposita la fianza, será liberado bajo la custodia de terceras personas a los servicios precondenatorios.
You're not to leave the state of Arizona.
No deberá de salir del estado de Arizona.
And no alcohol or illegal drugs.
Y nada de alcohol ni drogas ilegales.
Thank you, Mr. Peraza.
Gracias.
I would also suggest that you not discuss this matter with anyone except your attorney.
Gracias, señor. Y también le sugiero que no hable de este caso con nadie más que con su abogado.
Okay.
Ok. May I
Your
be
Honor?
excused, Your Honor?
May, thanks, Denise.
Thank you.
Your Honor, the jail has Mr. Martinez.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes.
Good evening, I'm Judge Shade, and you are?
I spit and showers as I am Jesus Christ. I was like, tell her your name, Jesus Christ, I'm Martinez. And I already saw to, I don't have the devil in me. God has the devil in him. And that's why he's.
So is your name Mr. Martinez?
Yes, and that's my name.
Okay,
That's the real.
okay.
Truth, I see that you have something else with light.
Your Honor, did you catch his name? I think he did share it.
Yes, Francisco. See this.
Okay. All right, Mr. Martinez, I have an interim complaint charging you with 2 counts of endangerment, 1 count of interfering with or disrupting an educational institution, and 1 count of aggravated criminal damage. We'll appoint the public defender's office to represent you on these charges. And did either counsel wish to be heard on conditions?
Your Honor, just briefly, I understand he doesn't have any felony priors. He does have a substantial misdemeanor record when I ran his name on public access. And I'll be as is direct as I can, but also respecting the lack of mentioning certain facts. But this is very concerning conduct on where it occurred, the state he was in, being exposed, essentially violent behavior at a, category of educational institution. So the state believes the $10,000 bond's appropriate. In addition to the, again, no contact, don't return, no firearms, no drugs or alcohol, and especially not going around the category of individuals or places those individuals, congregate.
And a lifelong resident, he's currently homeless and unemployed per his sister who can provide support. I do have some competency concerns at this time. So if the court is not inclined to release him to free trial services, I would just ask for a low bond given his indigence.
All right, preliminary hearing date is going to be August 22nd at 1:30 in the afternoon. Bond is $7,500. If you post the bond, you'll be under distributor of pretrial services. No alcohol or illegal drugs. No contact with the alleged victims. You're not to return within 3 blocks of the incident location there on 3rd. You're not to go near any preschools. You need to comply with behavioral health assessment and treatment. All right, thank you, Mr. Martinez. Good evening, I'm Judge Shade, and you are?
Jessica Kennett.
Ms. Kennett. I have a warrant here charging you with 2 counts of narcotic drug violation, 1 count of possession of paraphernalia, alleged to have occurred on March the 14th of 2021. Will appoint public defender's office to represent you on these charges. Set an arraignment date of August the 19th at 1:30, and does either counsel wish to be heard further on conditions?
Your Honor, just briefly about asking for the warrant amount. Again, she was released in 2021 to pretrial, failed to appear. Warrant issued, was essentially arrested a year later in 2022, or again released to pretrial, failed to appear, and then has been on absconder status for the past 3 years. So the state believes the warrant amount would be appropriate given the circumstances.
Anything further from defense?
Your Honor, my understanding is that this is her only pending matter, that she has no prior convictions. It was assessed as a level 1 nonviolent event. I would ask for pretrial services release. If the court is not inclined to do that, I would ask for a low bond.
Given the failure to appear at arraignment after being released to the custody of pretrial services and not making contact with pretrial services, release to pretrial services is not appropriate. Bond will be $2,500. If that's posted, then you'll be under supervision of pretrial services. No alcohol or illegal drugs. Thank you, Ms. Kenna. Good evening, I'm Judge Shade, and you are?
Lake and Mosby.
Ms. Mosby, I have a warrant here out of Cochise County Superior Court. Charging you with possession of dangerous drugs, possession of narcotic drug, possession of paraphernalia, and providing false information to law enforcement. Alleged have occurred on or about August the 10th of 2022. Your next court date will be a review hearing on September the 12th at 9 a.m. I will reduce the bond from $25,000 to $10,000. If you post the bond, you'll be released at third-party custody of pretrial services, and you'll need to contact Cochise County upon your release to get a court date. No alcohol or illegal drugs. You need to participate in behavioral health and substance abuse assessment and treatment is available in custody or under the direction of pretrial services if you're out of custody. Thank you, Ms. Mosby. Good evening. I'm Judge Shade, and you are
Julian Cisneros.
Mr. Cisneros. I have a number of things here for you. An in complaint charging with possession of dangerous drug, possession of paraphernalia.
Yeah, they said that they'd seen it, or it was found in
You
a
really
house.
You probably don't want to talk about this,
Okay.
except with your attorney. We'll appoint city public defender's office, or excuse me, public defender's office to represent you on these charges, and did either counsel wish to be heard on conditions?
Just that a steps hearing be set, Judge.
Your Honor, I'm just gonna speak with Julian briefly regarding the steps hearing.
Okay, you might want to also discuss with him his extensive failure to appear history.
Understood. Your Honor, Mr. Cisneros understands that he is likely to be held on a bond, given his extensive failure to appear history. We are just asking for a low bond. I think that the state recommended $1,000. He is also willing to participate in the STEPS program. He indicates to me that he has a real estate license that he does not want to lose, so he's very motivated to participate in that. Given that if the court's inclination is to keep him in custody, I think we will just keep the preliminary hearing date within the next 10 days.
I didn't know about the other.
He just wants to reiterate he didn't know about the misdemeanor.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. All right. Steps hearing will be August 19th at 9 a.m. Preliminary hearing will be August 22nd at 1:30. Bond will be $1,000. You post the bond, you'll be in a student of pretrial services. Behavioral health and substance abuse assessment and treatment is available in custody or under the direction of pretrial services if out of custody. Right. I also have a warrant out of Pima County Justice Court for domestic violence assault, domestic violence violation of a court order. Alleged occurred on May 14th of last year. Failure to appear. Warrant was issued on April 17th of this year.
So it should just shock me. I don't understand.
So you're going to get some court dates, so just wait.
I never assaulted anybody.
We'll appoint William Parvin to represent you on this matter. Bond will be $100. No alcohol, illegal drugs, no acts of domestic violence. You need to comply with previous conditions of release. And again, behavioral health and substance abuse assessment and treatment, and you need to comply with steps. Your next court date will actually be tomorrow at 1 o'clock on this matter. Then I have quite a series of cases out of Tucson City Court. Charges from October 24th of 2024 for criminal trespass, 345 North Pantano. Failure to appear at arraignment on November the 6th of 2024. You were then in custody on February the 1st of this year. Pretrial services released you with a court date of March the 4th. And there's an indication that you did not appear that day. Charges for criminal trespass on February the 1st. You were brought into custody. Pretrial services released you with a failure to appear at arraignment on March the 4th. That was alleged to have occurred at 3902 East Speedway, the same place you were arrested today. Charges for criminal trespass on June 23rd of this year. 6129 East Broadway. And then failing to appear at arraignment on July the 7th. Criminal trespass on June the 23rd at 6280 East Broadway. And again, failure to appear on July the 7th. We'll appoint the City Public Defender's Office to represent you on these charges.
Okay.
You'll be released on these charges. You're not to return to any of the incident locations at 345 North Pantano, 3902 East Speedway, 6129 East Broadway, or 6280 East Broadway. You need to comply with steps. If you are out of custody, you need to appear on October the 16th at 9 a.m. in Tucson City Court. If you're still in custody, then City Public Defender's Office will address the matter with the court. Thank you. Good evening, I'm Judge Shane. You are
Lee Strand.
Mr. Strand. I have a warrant out of Pima County Superior Court charging you with shoplifting and possession of paraphernalia on the 10th of June. We'll appoint Public Defender's Office to represent you on these charges, and at either counsel wish to be heard on conditions. Noting there is an APO hold.
Nothing to add, Judge.
Your Honor, given the hold, I think that the low bond is appropriate.
Right, bond will be $500. If you post the bond, you'll be released to the third-party custody of pretrial services. You're not to return to the incident location. You're not to possess any alcohol or illegal drugs. I also have new charges for possession of paraphernalia. We'll appoint the City Public Defender's Office to represent you on these charges. Your next court date will be October the 16th at 9 a.m. If you're out of custody, you must appear. If you are in custody, then the Public Defender's Office, City Public Defender's Office will handle the matter and keep you informed. Thank you, Mr. Strand.
Judge, what was that arraignment date again?
19th.
19th. Okay, thank you, Judge.
Good evening, I'm Judge Shade, and you are
Paul Torres.
Mr. Torres. Interim complaint charging with aggravated shoplifting and possession of paraphernalia. We'll appoint Public Defender's Office to represent you on these charges, and at either counsel wish to be heard on conditions.
Your Honor, I would just note that each and every one of his prior felonies, as well as when I looked at the misdemeanor history on public access, is for similar conduct. in each and every one of the felonies, he's violated probation and or was revoked from probation. So that is why the state recommended the bond it did of $5,000 with pretrial services.
Your Honor, I would just note that Mr. Torres is a longtime resident. He was assessed at a level 2. This is a non-violent allegation. He does appear to maintain some employment. I understand the history, but I would note in the complaint that the total here was about $41. That's not a large amount. If the court is not inclined to release him to pretrial services, I would just ask for a refund.
Preliminary hearing date will be August 22nd at 1:30 in the afternoon. Bond is $2,500. If you post the bond, you'll be notified of pretrial services. No alcohol or illegal drugs. You don't go to any Target store. Participate in behavioral health and substance abuse assessment and treatment to the extent it's available in custody or under the direction of pretrial services if you are out of custody. Thank you, Mr. Torres.
That's it. Put it on.
All right.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay.